Hi, this is Katie, and what we're going to do with this quick video is talk about what you need to do in Learning Module 1. Make sure you check your schedule for when it's due. At the beginning, right here, course schedule and due dates. At the beginning of the semester, we have about 2 weeks for Learning Module 1 and Learning Module 2, and then we go on every week something is due. So make sure you check your schedule to see when things are due. So I have a quick presentation that I want to talk about just to point out the important things in these two chapters and give you something to look at while I'm yapping. The first thing is what we need to do. Chapter 1 is an introduction to networking, and there is a lot of good information in here, primarily on basic networking concepts, differences between client-server and peer-to-peer networks, what is a client-server environment, and then it also talks about networking professionals and job skills that you'll need to know if you're going into the field of network engineering or network administration. That's primarily Chapter 1. Chapter 2 talks about the OSI model and networking standards. So in this quick overview video, we're going to talk about both of these chapters. There is a Network Plus exploration assignment, and in Blackboard, what you need to do with that assignment is to shoot over to Blackboard real quick. In Learning Module 1, I want you to create a Word or a PDF file and answer these questions. I want you to go out to CompTIA's website. You can also just submit them as part of the text when you click on the assignment, but I want you to go out to CompTIA's website and explore the Network Plus exam. You could either attach a file, or you can write your submission here, write submission, and then submit it that way. That shouldn't take too long, but I want you to get an idea what the test is about. So that's one of the assignments in this learning module. We also have four lab connections from the Lab Connections work from Cengage. So make sure you've activated and enabled your Cengage Brain Lab Connections account in your lab. Remember, that was a $60 access key that either came with your book if you bought it at the bookstore, or if you bought it online, it was the online access code that you bought. So you have to put in our class access code after you get the activation key, and then you have access to the labs. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure you watch the videos on Lab Connections. There are 4 labs, and what I want you to submit is your combined grade. I did send an email that I will do these labs weighted, so it won't say you get 80% on the first lab. It's not going to bring your grade down that much because the complete weight of the Lab Connections won't be 100%. like the quizzes and everything else. So I haven't quite figured out the details of that, but I'll let you know and keep you informed. And then there's a couple other videos that I want you to watch just for fun. The first one, I don't want it to start playing here, but the first one is this one, Lawyers of the Net. And what this video does is it really gives you a good idea, an overview of what this class is about, how data transfers. Let's go on to the next thing. How you transfer data via the internet and how protocols work. It's several years old, but it's a very good overview and an interesting watch. It's about 15 minutes long, so if you're in class, we'll watch it. If you're if you're online, then watch that in your own time. With Chapter 2, it talks about the OSI model. Make sure you read this very carefully. The OSI model is just a blueprint for how computers send data from one system to another. Now in class, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but online, make sure you read the material. And then also, here's one of my favorite people to follow on YouTube. He's called Eli, the computer guy, and he's got hundreds of videos. Excuse me. Excuse me. He's got hundreds of videos on computer-related things, and he explains things very well. So here's his face and him explaining the OSI in a very short video as well. Other tips with the OSI model, they quiz you heavily on the OSI model with the Net Plus exam. Create a mnemonic device for the 7 layers, and think about it kind of personally, like what do each layer of the OSI model, what does each layer do, and how does that work into your career path? For example, the application and the presentation and the session layers, these are more layers that a programmer might be interested in. They handle encryption and converting data and compression, and then the transport and the network and the data link and the physical layer. The other 4 layers, those are layers that more a network administrator and an engineer deal with, because we deal with protocols and how data transfers from computer to computer. So we have a good understanding of the OSI. It can be somewhat tedious, as you'll hear from Eli. However, it is a really easy model to understand, and again, just remember, it's a model. It's a blueprint for how computers communicate, and gives a standard for all of these computers across the world to network. So that's the OSI model. Seems like I missed something, and I know I did. Woo! No. One of the concepts, well, forgive me. Laugh at me now. Where's my link? This one. Okay. One of the other, sorry, I don't know how to use that tool apparently. One of the other things in Chapter 1 that I think is really important is professional organizations and job resources. This chapter just talks about some tips for what you can do to prepare yourself, but if you're in the face-to-face class or online class, it's good to know some of the local resources that you have, and job sites that are out there locally. I have compiled a list on my website. First of all, if you are on Facebook, make sure you like my page, because I have a lot of technology websites for internships, job resources, networking, things in the networking field that you can follow or you'll pick up as you follow my site. And that's all in my professor information. And then also some go-to sites for jobs. So I'm going to send you out here to my website. It's a link in the Prezi that I also posted in Blackboard. But some of these are for looking for a job: MichiganFuture.org, MITalent.org, and then the Bureau of Labor Statistics. These are some high-level websites, but some of the things I like about these is they're local or Michigan-based. MITalent.org, for example, it tells you how many current jobs there are, and this isn't in the field of technology, but you can search for that. So you can search network. Well, let's do a job title: Network Administrator in Grand Rapids. 50 miles. Jobs in the last month. And I'll show you all of the things locally. I've heard of this company. Heard of this company. This is a job placement company, but still a good place to start. And that's very specific. Network administrator. You could just search networking. You could search education that requires an associate's, or certifications, or internships. It's a really great website that the state of Michigan has put together over the past few years, and it is just in the state of Michigan. And it's not just computer related jobs, it's all jobs. So it's a good site for everybody if you're job searching. One of the other things, MichiganFuture.org. That one there. And then the Bureau of Labor Statistics right here. This website here will give you an idea of how the industry really is in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, You can pick the area that you want to move to, and it has really specific things on job titles, so not just networking. It could go as far as help desk technician to customer service to network engineer to administrator, and it gives you how many jobs they forecast in the next 12 years and what jobs have been out there in the past. So this website is quite extensive. It's a government website, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics keeps track of all the jobs in the country. It's a good site to have as well. Some other things, some few local IT organizations are listed here. If you have some that you'd like to share, what I'd like you to do is go to the discussion boards and share them there so that the rest of the class can access them. This isn't required, but it would be great and useful for everybody to, to share our resources. And then I'll post them on my website and Facebook page as well. So that is it for Learning Module 1. Make sure that you start early, check the syllabus for the due dates, spend your time with the lab connections because you get to do it just once and then it'll give you your grade, but remember it's weighted. There's also a quiz that covers Chapter 1 and 2 as well. Thanks.